They cannot. Unless they are touched by a devotee, Krishna will not allow them to step into that very confidential relationship. They have to meet a devotee. So brilliant, the Vedic civilization, total harmonious, total complete. I mean, again and again it's going on very much. And then in this verse we see what they have created in the place where they want us so much to participate and that we take it so serious. But everything has a problem in this modern society, on all levels, politically, socially, economically, always full of headache. But Prabhupada said there is no economic problem. The elephant, I love this thing from Teaching of Queen Kunti, very extremely important book. The elephant has a stomach, you can sit in the stomach, you know that? For 300 people. And there are millions of elephants, and they don't have a bank balance, they don't have an insurance company, they don't have a house, and they find their food. So they are supplied with food without making big things. So why the human civilization, who has much more intelligence capacity, why they should have an economic problem? It's all mental concoction of the highest degree. The Vedic kings had never an economic problem. But they concentrate on two things. What is these two things? Indra? The Vedic administration means two things. To make the whole society function.
Cow protection, brahmanas?
Yes, give him a clap. Yeah. So where are our cows? That's one thing I hear. Now in Tirupati temple, he realized this last 3 years, now he's focusing on cows. Because the project is growing, we need much more good cooperation and relationship. So how to get all the harmony going? Cows. If cows are there, everybody's happy in the yatra. And every Friday, all the brahmachari, everybody, even the grass, they come and brushing the cows and washing the cows. And talking to the cows. And the cows know. Everybody watching us, everybody likes us. They are used for the humility. And we have 10 different breeds. The small ones, the white ones, the big ones, small ones, from North India to South India. The Wongo breed, very famous worldwide. And some are Brahminical, some are Mara. And it's nice. And then Brahminical training means the Bhagavad Gita, the science of the soul. So I'm thinking very much about the concept last year. You have human rights when they stopped the black slavery, and then 30, 40 years ago they got the animal rights. Should we really slaughter animals? Is it normal? This is then human civilization. They have to think, eating animals is good or not? Still they're thinking about it. Is this human civilization? My God, there's an ABC of beginning of. So, human rights, animal rights, but now, soul rights. We need a movement for soul right protection. Or Atma Liberation Front. I like this title. How do you like this? Atma Liberation. That is the Hare Krishna movement, of course. But we make a system and a mission statement can show us. And now the first mission statement is the Atma youth refuses to accept that the living entity is simply a product of matter combination. That's the first thing. Another, all these things has to be very much woken up, and the people know that actually it's going on a big way, that people say you don't have to be manipulated by the system. You allow yourself to be in the matrix, they call it, right? Since that film came, there is a lot of famous understanding, popular understanding by masses of people. What is this matrix? Matrix means, sense and sense objections. We are caught up in that, right? And then to come loose out of it, right? That's very much aware. Many people are aware. We are being manipulated in a world of a matrix, but we don't have to copy. We have to go in ourselves. Okay, that is theory. How long they can really do it without practicing Krishna consciousness. Right? So we have to just make that last translation step, I feel, and it will open up very much. So I want to touch a little bit more about the points of the negative aspects of human civilization. Sometimes people don't like to hear about that heavy depressive thing. But I feel sometimes if you go to the details how the leaders of society, it's today so easy to manipulate the whole system that you just do what they want. It's so easy today for them. And we should not tolerate this. We should totally protest this by giving very nice small courses, small pamphlets. Prabhupada started with pamphlets. I believe very much in pamphlet distribution because the people, they don't read more, they don't see clips more than 3 minutes, it seems. They don't read more than a few minutes. So we make presentations who are fitting in that category of mental conditioning. They are extremely conditionally mental. So pamphlets, like how Prabhupada speaks the Mahamantra, you keep on putting the pamphlets just out in Copenhagen, and you see, it is systematically explained. What is the effect when you do this Hare Krishna? Everybody knows Hare Krishna. Who doesn't know Hare Krishna? But what they are doing, why they are doing it. We cannot expect them to do this questioning. They're like small babies. You cannot expect a small baby immediately to walk after. Hey, 14 days I'm helping you to go, now you have to walk. No, you have to wait months to put up the baby, poop, it falls again, poop, it falls. You have to pull it up. So they're all small babies in spiritual. They don't have the strength to come forward. They don't have the strength to ask questions. Their brain will not work. So we have to spoon feed them with small thoughts. The small confidence. Tax our brains. And on the website also now we have to work much more there with educational points. And then they come here, and then they meet the person. They should know how the system is cheating them. They want to make everybody a blind follower. I think it was Aldous Huxley he says, now we don't need the gross slavery dictatorship like it was hundreds of years ago. By physical force, by the army, they will enslave the entire society. And that is basically, that's why Marx says religion is opium for the opium for the people. Yeah, they scare the idea of God so much into the people, without real access to the process, that they control the people with this idea. Now they control the people with technology, with false promises of technology. So we have to educate them. How it is a full joke. It's a big farce. Big joke. Completely. And it was Aldous Huxley. He says, we don't need this gross dictatorship anymore, of gross physical enslavery. We can subtly enslave. We can make the people to such a way that although they're in extremely distressful position, mentally, socially, lonely, still they have the idea they're happy. We can bring that to the point. I did it. So my God, what are they planning here? And you see it's actually going on. So many people you see there, they know that they think, if you talk with them, say, I'm happy. They don't realize how unhappy they are. But the devotee understands. Like our Mahabhavi was telling, before I was, when we talk about hellish flames, we are giving some pain to small animals. We didn't realize this. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, you realize what you're doing. So a devotee can do miracles. He can really understand and say, oh, you don't know the world, you're living in your temple, you're isolated, you don't know nothing from the world. I always say we know better the world than anyone. And we have to show that to the world. We have to share it in a very systematic way. We can different topics. So here it said professional plunderers. That's a good definition of the leader of society. And dasyas. Dasyas is not ordinary thief. Dasya translation means plunderer. Plundering. A thief, he comes along sometimes and he steals something from your pocket now and then. But a plunderer, he continuously takes away everything. Continuously. And that is what's going on in the modern society. He plundered by so many direct tax, indirect tax, actually giving fines. 3 years ago in Belgium also, they came in the news, the government made on traffic fines 100 million euro profit in 1 year. And it came to big news, so all the public was, what are you going to do with all that money? So yeah, we made too much money with the traffic fines. Now we have to think, how are we going to use this money? We will tell you later. It's simply a way, of course, on the preface of regulating, this is always the way. On the outside they have a small reason why it is beneficial, but the real motivation is simply, Prabhupada writes that black and white in a purport. In Kali Yuga, government means simply how to make laws to extremely exploit the citizens with so many varieties of taxes. Just check them out. Right? Now, and how they plunder more? They plunder you with the energy, with your thought processes, through education. Rockefeller, he once in 1920 or something in the beginning, he says, now is the time coming, we have to introduce the woman liberation. Why? How? We want the woman also to work. Right? So we need more people in the factories, so not only the men should work, the women also work. And if they both work, then we will set up the educational system. So the children are 8 hours in the school, and in the morning 1-2 hours in the house. So who is educating the children? Not the parents. And that's the whole idea of Rockefeller. And Rockefeller is the money man. They are contact with the Federal Reserve Bank, and the money system, that's very nicely explained in the book of Danesh Prabhu, especially how this money concept, you don't need an army to control the people. That paper money system, if you have it accepted by everybody, it automatically controls everybody, because when money is there, everybody says yes. Sufficient money, this law is good. Yes. Any nonsense law you can get through with the money system. So you don't need physical suppression. Simply the cheap paper money. Prabhupada said it is bad money. Paper money is bad money. Gold coins is good money. Paper money is, you can manipulate anything if you're on top. So that is this Rockefeller and this Rothschild family. They have devised an amazing plan, and they say, we're going to educate the people, and finally they make it into robots. Love, that's one chapter in spiritual economy, the love of all that is dead. They love to come to, they not just want to have all the wealth, they want to have all the control of each individual of the society. That is the system they have. Are we realizing this? Are we realizing this? How deeply they have gone. This Bhakta Til was here. He came here for the seminar from Germany. He's a master degree in economics in the University of Webster. I saw his textbooks. It's not about calculating the profit of cities. It's totally philosophy only. And he says, there is no university department where the student is so extremely focused than in the economic department. All others is less focused. From the first day you come there, the professor will give you such a heavy presentation. If you cannot handle, you have to go. Only those who are most sharp brain, they can stay in the ecumenical system. And it's all about philosophy. How to penetrate in the consciousness of the people and do what you want to sell. Get behaviors, get desires into the hearts. That's the only thing. So how we have to fight back, how sharp we have to become, how strong we have to set up our preaching back. They are plunderers, professional plunderers. They're trained up, all these people. They have their own educational system, and we have our divine educational system. And they have their demonic educational system. Now it's especially on the subtle platform. And I see so many devotees are not aware of this, of the details. And very much influenced by that. Especially the devotees who live in the capitalistic system. We are totally sold out to capitalism. The Russians are much more advanced in now preaching Krishna consciousness in all societies. They have self-sufficient, they have cultural programs, they have gurukuls, they have bhakti rickshaws are flying around like anything. Here in Europe, capitalistic, this is the slowest part of the preaching in the whole world. Africa is better, India is better. Why? We are so sold out of the capital. We have no critical mind to capitalism. Very slow, very superficial. Because we brought up in that. But the Russians not, they're communists, they hate capitalism. Now they're taking it, but still their mind is very critical. So they are not swallowing all this system. They try always so many varieties, even economically. You know, they try so many schemes. Because we don't want this plundering to go on, and plundering not only your taxes, plundering your mind, plundering your thought process, plundering your motivations, your values of life, your family values, everything they plunder to pieces. And then when Prabhupada says, let's start self-sufficient farms, he says, how to do that? How we can cooperate? Divide and rule, that's one of their strategies. You know? Now you see on the highway, many times, you see every car. 80% of the cars, there's only one man sitting in the car. How they have controlled the system in their own. Even the families they divide, the husband and the wife they divide. If you come to this point, you can totally control the system. So what is our strategy back? We have to come together. We have to avoid the quarrels amongst ourselves. We have to be very sensitive in dealing with others. We cannot beat each other on the nose for small things. To build a yatra for so many years, it's like a flower. And you have to cultivate it very nice, because it can disappear. I saw some yatras, they're scattered. There is no more Sunday. Now and here, it's the only hope. So if it is there, if something is so carefully, because you don't know next year or 5 years how if something will stand or not. Right? So carefully we have to work with it, because the only hope is this Hare Krishna movement. How many times Prabhupada says this? Again in the purport of the hellish planets also. Because how much they're active, Kali, but not for long anymore. No. We're going to build up, but we have to be very conscious how they work, how subtle they work. Divide and rule, right? And we have to break that, the we concept. Ganesh would say, we have to introduce the we concept again. We have to work, small projects together we have to work. We do it already. The free food, and then the radio is there, the takeaway is there. But all these things has to expand. The we concept, we have to learn to work together. Isn't it? The Little Art Project is so wonderful project. The whole Darwin thing, challenge, everything. And he's expert in farming. We have so many experts here. And Ajay is so good in cooking, classes, and so much we can do. Because we have to not allow this exploitation. Slowly they're dying off. You know, that's the last thing I can do. Is conquer by stealth, they call it. Now the strategy to control the people is silently. You totally get them under control. Not like the Roman Empire, that by slavery, by violence, by wars. We know the European history is horrible, always fights and wars. And that's not anymore there now. Why? Subtly they come up to control. And it's said like this, the example is given like this. If you want to kill a frog, there are two ways to try. He's sitting in the box on the stone with the water. You put very hot water, you throw on him. Right? But he will jump away. We'll get the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, right? There is another way. And that's what's going on now. The frog is he's sitting in the water, and slowly you heat up the water. So in the beginning he says, becoming hot. It's nice, you know. Supermarket here, cinema there, iPod here, nice TV. And they get into the brains, and they make you slave of your senses. And then the water becomes hotter and hotter, so you get all this risk, and then family relationship breaking. Because so many other concepts against the Vedic concept, divine and rule, becomes hotter and hotter and hotter, and finally it's dead. You become a robot. No more feelings, no more compassion. Don't know anymore how to work together. Immediately everything is a problem. That's what's going on. Killing the frog slowly by heating the water. So the world should see all this. You should have a long-term vision. You should see the future, how to protect. And then by educating, if we educate, if we share it, the more we share, the more everything becomes dynamic. The more it is, the less it shares, the dynamism very fast will be. So we have to learn to share it more and more. And explain all these things in the modern concept. That's why I am stunned by this book, Spiritual Economics. It's illustrated three gunas in the 21st century. Very much. Vishnu Swami also, he says it very much. He says this book, now I only understand the chapter of divine and demonic nature. So again I talked on it today because, it's specifically the sloka on this. But it's good. Repeat it. Okay. Any question? I remember from the light of the Bhagavad. We can use that book is also very important book, the light of the Bhagavad. Nature and spiritual concept. He said when the farmer has a good crop, then the capitalist is very gloomy at heart. You remember that? You turn it around. Right? When the farmer has a bad crop, like it happens so many times nowadays, then the capitalist is very happy to exploit the farmer. It's all it's actually the fight between the demonic force and the divine is a fight between the farming life and the industrialized life. You think about it. Farming looks simple. It's the most revolutionary concept you can propagate today. It's extremely revolutionary in the modern concept. And many are busy with that. But it's our concept. First of all, it's the Vedic concept. We should be on front of all this revolution, I feel. Because we turn it around. We want these capitalists to be gloomy at heart. Not that the farmer is gloomy at heart. Who wants to be a farmer nowadays? Oh, it's boring life. It's very hard work. What is hard work? Sitting in a factory, you have to maintain all the nuts and bolts, or you put something in the ground, let the rain fall, and now and then you have to weed. You have to have sufficient people, and you have to have a cultural life in the village life. Every evening you have bhajans together, and you invite people. Have some small guest houses. It's not too difficult. I think it's not too. and then it's not hard. Krishna didn't put a system based on agriculture to make you work like a slave. But if you alone have to farm, then it becomes tough. What do you think about it? You're more experienced. I'm talking from. Is it? If you have enough people to work in,
it's fun.
right, then it is not a tough thing. I never believe it. They have been discouraging the modern man in that. Our great grandfathers, they had a very bad life. They were always full of hunger. But now I'm seeing the history. The Roman Empire was exploiting all the farmers. Heavy taxes, it is going on since thousands of years, that heavy taxes. They didn't allow normal crop, otherwise farming life is never a hard life. It is an opulent life, like Nanda Maharaj. He was living like a king almost, but he was a farmer. What about that? And we have to put it in like this, because we don't want the people to suffer. We don't want the devotees to suffer unnecessarily. Isn't it? Any question? Any remarks? Any doubts? Any doubts about? Yeah.
It's just nice lecture, thank you. It's very clear that we're not living in the natural environment, and that we have to be aware of it, because it can make us understand why we are disturbed, why we are suffering like that from our own mind. Because often we think, oh, what's wrong? There's something wrong, and can't do this and can't do that. We have to understand the deeper lying cause of it, and that's very much what you explained now, I think.
If you one way or other can get it again to life, it will be so brilliant preaching. But we all have to be re-educating ourselves. It will solve so many problems. Yatras will grow like you cannot imagine. And through the back to bridges we can do small process. Anything else? Lalita, you want to say something?
No, just listening.
It's okay, because
Joy!
he's ready. So 2 young boys, nice boys, intelligent boys. They're ready. They can bring so many other boys. Simon Bhagwan, kick. Gonitai, kick. Guru Parampara, kick.